for an early brunch?
I am home for the day. I'm done at the hospital.
What a light schedule.
Yes, ma'am. I had a very early start, and I got finished, and I knew it was your day off, so I thought maybe we could spend the afternoon together.
Oh, dear. What have you done now?
What? Oh, right. This time I've done nothing. I thought maybe I could accumulate some points for the next time, though. What would you like to do?
Oh, I can't really think of anything I'd like to do. The promise of an interesting evening, I think, would be sufficient. The entire Quartermaine clan are supposed to show up at the Scott Baldwins tonight at 6 o'clock.
What are you talking about? Susan's invited all of the Quartermaines over to her cottage?
Unless Stella is taken out from just practical jokes. Yes.
Why? What could she possibly want with all of us?
Well, if you don't know, and I don't know, I'm certainly dying to find out.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
Thought to me. It wasn't my idea.
Gotta be some kind of a joke.
I can't wait for the punchline.
All the Quartermaines over at her cottage, the woman must have lost her mind.
Hello?
What the hell are you up to?
Well, good morning, Alan. I'm just fine, thank you. I just thought it might be nice if you and Monica and Lila and Edward joined me here about 6 o'clock. Is that convenient?
No.
Now. I know that your mother just got home from Palm Beach last night. You have no excuse.
I do have a very good excuse. My mother was in an automobile accident in Florida.
Oh, well, I'm very sorry to hear that, but I imagine if she was well enough to make the trip all the way from Florida to New York, she could certainly manage a drive over to my cottage.
Susan, you're not going to see any of us over there.
I think I will. All of you. Eagerly.
I can't imagine one possible reason you could have for us to wind up over there.
I can. Crane Tolliver.
What's a Crane Tolliver? Or should I say who?
You should tell your parents that I have a message for them from Crane Tolliver, and that I won't deliver that message until all 4 of you are right here in my living room.
Why should I go on ahead? Do you have any idea who Crane Tolliver is?
No, why should I?
I don't know why, but Susan seems to think it's going to get quite a reaction out of my parents when I say it.
Why?
I don't have the vaguest idea, and she's not going to tell us unless we're all in person over at her place tonight. What do you make out of that?
Well, I didn't know. Never a dull moment. And never any peace around here, either.
Ah, Stella.
Yes, sir.
Is my mother upstairs?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. I must go and talk to her.
Wait a minute. She's still asleep. After that long trip, she was just exhausted.
Yeah, well, what about my father? Is he home?
Oh, I'm afraid he isn't. He went to an early business luncheon. But he should be home fairly soon.
All right. Well, I'll have to wait. I'll ask him when he gets home.
Yes, sir.
Crane Tolliver. Who the hell is that? Where have you been?
Going one with the toughest chicken Dijon I ever encountered. I swear it tasted like it was boiled in rubber. If I go to any more business luncheons, I'm going to brown bag it or I'll die of indigestion.
That's the least of your problems.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Susan Moore called.
Well, so she's no concern of mine. All I'm interested in right now is a double brandy. Try to get this horrible taste out of my mouth.
I have a little treat that may clear your palate, sir.
Unless it's a drink, I'm not interested.
Crane Tolliver.
What did you say?
Crane Tolliver.
What makes you bring up a name like that?
Susan Moore mentioned his name to me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What else did she say?
She said she's got a message for you and Mother, but she would only deliver it in person if the 4 of us showed up at her cottage tonight.
Why?
I don't have the vaguest idea, but I think you owe us an explanation.
Yes, I think you do, Edward. Why would the illustrious Quartermaines be interested in a message from Crane Tolliver?
I have to talk to Lila.
That's not an answer.
I'm sorry. It'll have to do until I talk to your mother.
Do you get the feeling we walked in late on this show, Monica?
Curiouser and curiouser.
Oh, Stella, has Mrs. Quartermaine awakened yet?
Oh, yes, sir. She just woke up.
Good. I have to talk to her right away.
Oh, is anything wrong?
You bet your life. What on earth does Susan Moore know about Crane Tolliver?
So, are we all set?
The cards are on the table. The rest is up to you. You know what you're going to say?
Perfectly.
Play the cards right, and we'll both rake in the chips.
What I want to see is the look on their faces when they find out what I know.
You'll have the best seats in the house. I'm just sorry I won't be here to watch you work. Don't let them intimidate you.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm at my best when I deal with the Quartermaine.
I know. Why do you think I looked you up in the first place? Good luck.
We don't need luck. We've got all the cards. All I have to do is play them out.
Give them hell, baby.
Mother, don't you think you should be resting in your room? You really do look very pale to me.
Yes, Lila, honestly, you've had a serious accident. You need recuperation, a lot of it.
Oh, no, my darlings, I'm fine. Really, I am. You know, I had the most fine doctor. Very, very handsome. Of course, I've got to wear this horrid neck brace for a little while, but and I do need some rest. But I wanted to explain to you about Crane Tolliver. You see, he was my first husband.
He was your what?
Will you please be quiet and let your mother finish?
Wait a minute. He was your what?
My first husband, dear. We were divorced, and then Crane disappeared. Of course, your father's known about my previous marriage for a long time. In fact, as far as he and I were concerned, it was a dead issue. In fact, I even thought that Crane himself was dead by this time. But it'll be very interesting to hear what Mrs. Baldwin has to tell us about him.
Oh, boy, I'll say.
Hang on 1 second. What could Susan possibly know about your first husband, about this Crane Tolliver?
This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I am now beginning to understand why we were all being called over to our house this evening.
Yes, dear, but before we go there, there's some other little matter that I want to discuss with
Oh,
you.
good Lord, now what?
Well, I want you all to know exactly why it was that I asked Robert Scorpio to try to find Eric.
A.K.A. Jimmy Lee Holt.
Look, we all know the players, Monica. We don't need an announcer.
Go on,
Sorry.
Mother, please.
Well, as you probably have realized by now, your father and I are not getting any younger. And, well, it's true, dear, we're not. That leaves us, you two are both doctors and both very qualified in your profession and set. Well, that leaves us in the unfortunate position of having no blood relative to carry on with ELQ the time when Edward and I decide that it's time to step down.
That will never happen.
Well, I had hoped that Eric, having Quartermaine blood, would be suitable to take over the business.
You what? Are you serious?
Oh, well, perfect, Edward. Hey, guess who's coming to dinner?
I don't believe any of this.
You don't believe it. You mean to tell me you were seriously considering that two-bit hustler as my successor?
Our successor, dear. and don't worry, dear. I merely wanted to determine whether or not he was capable of assuming the responsibility.
Let me tell you something, Mother. That hooligan in the hospital is not capable of tying his own shoes.
He's managed to tie this family in knots,
Well,
Edward.
that's as far as it goes. He's not going to get 1 cent of Quartermaine money.
I shouldn't worry about it, Father. I'm sure he's bluffing. This business about him staying in Port Charles is just his idea of a joke.
No one's laughing, darling.
They will be. He was discharged from the hospital today. I'm sure he'll be out of town by nightfall.
Uh-huh. You're all ready to go, I see.
Yep, you bet. But I'll be seeing you soon.
You bet you will. Right here next week, I want to examine you.
My pleasure. Well, I guess they fixed my coat. I'll see you later, Red.
Hold it, cowboy. Not so fast. You're not going anywhere without a wheelchair.
Why?
Hospital rules.
Well, how long is it going to take? I gotta be at a party.
And I thought I was your only romantic interest. Well, so much for hospital romances. You just take it easy. We'll send one around, and I'll see you in a week.
You got it.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hey, don't you forget to call my construction office. I should be out of here by next Friday. I'm sure I can fix you up with something.
You know, I gotta tell you, I really appreciate that. You know,
Problem. What do you got there?
I'm not sure. As far as I can tell, it's some sort of a party. Whatever it is, I'm gonna check it out. I wonder where that wheelchair is.